From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
I'm Megan Thompson here in Boulder at Jefferson High School, and coming right up, I'm going to introduce you to some students who are building a canoe with their own hands. And we'll talk to the governor about why teaching students the trades is so important right now.
And in Butte, volunteers are making clay bowls before the April deadline. Our John Amy explains why these bowls are so important to the community. And with new state laws governing enrollment across school districts, Bozeman schools numbers are adding up. We'll tell you how many proposed students just ahead and where they're all from. Good morning, Southwest Montana. 6:32 on this Tuesday morning. It's a little, I have to think, my days are kind of all out of whack right now. It's a little cloudy outside.
It is a little cloudy. There may be a little bit of snow trying to mix in. It's not showing up on radar. That isn't a shock to us because the low level stuff just doesn't pick up here in Southwest Montana. Big belts in those areas really block a lot of that. So there could be a few snowflakes. We're not looking at big impacts from that. But the temperatures right now into the 20s and 30s. It's a rather mild morning. The afternoon does bring scattered snow showers. We're getting reports of snow in the Dillon area this morning. We are looking at the potential of some scattered snow showers by the afternoon and evening. Most of us are looking at 30s for daytime highs. A rain-snow mix possible with these slightly warmer temperatures. I'm going to talk more about what the impacts will be in the longer term in just a little bit.
All right, looking forward to the forecast. Well, more than 1,200 people have been charged in connection with the events of January 6, 2021 at the U.S. Capitol. Our MTN's John Riley has been following closely the Montana-connected cases and has more on one of the latest sentencings.
Patrick O'Brien of Great Falls has been sentenced for his admitted actions on January 6, 2021 at the riot at the U.S. Capitol. In September, O'Brien entered into a plea agreement with the government and pled guilty to parading, demonstrating, or picketing in the Capitol building in exchange for the government dropping the other charges. According to the United States Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia, O'Brien has been sentenced to 36 months probation, 90 days home detention, 100 hours of community service, and will need to pay $500 in restitution. O'Brien drove to Montana to Washington, D.C. with his juvenile son to attend the rally of former President Trump and protest the presidential election results. After the rally, the two walked to the Capitol building and were pictured with a crowd pushing forward past breached police lines. O'Brien and his son entered the Capitol through a door that had been forced open, while other rioters entered through windows that had been broken earlier. The two were pictured inside the Capitol for around a half hour, including in front of former Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi's office and at the entrance of the Senate, where O'Brien's son stole a mouse pad. O'Brien is the seventh individual with direct Montana ties to be sentenced for participating in the U.S. Capitol riot. In Helena, John Riley, MTN News.
For Dillon businessman Hank Munner also began yesterday in Washington, D.C. Munner is accused of also participating in the January 6, 2021 riot at the U.S. Capitol. Munner is accused of half a dozen counts, including civil disorder, attempting to corrupt, disrupt, influence, and impede an official proceeding. He traveled from Montana to D.C. to attend the rally by former President Trump and then traveled to the Capitol building after his speech. Court documents allege that Munner posted social media videos describing the incident, including seeing tear gas and pepper spray being deployed by police, and video evidence also alleges to show Munner inside the Capitol building confronting police officers. The trial is expected to continue for several days. And back here in Montana, under House Bill 203, the Bozeman School District received 88 applications for non-resident enrollment. The applications included students from 12 districts, including most from Belgrade, Gateway, and Manhattan. Out of these 88 complete applications, 34 are new to the district, and the remaining 54 are currently enrolled students. K through 5 saw 33 applicants, 6 through 12 saw 24 applications, and then grades 9 through 12 saw 31. The Belgrade School District had the highest amounts with 64 applicants. And a canoe building class is just one of the ways that students at Jefferson High School are learning valuable skills that they say will help them into their future. Our Megan Thompson met with the students and Governor Greg Gianforte for Career and Technical Education Week.
In a day and age when you can buy almost anything with your fingertips, some students here at Jefferson High School are learning to make a canoe with their hand, and they say that these skills are going to help them with career opportunities in the future.
I think it's important for anybody to just get out there and do this kind of hard work and do stuff that's hands-on, and just get out there and try to build something yourself, because it'll come back and help you in life.
Piper Pierce is one of 8 kids learning to build a canoe at Jefferson High School, and she hopes her participation in the woodworking class will help her achieve her future goal of becoming an architect.
Canoe building just sounded really fun. Like, it's really special to be able to see something that you've worked really hard on and use it in the future, such as a canoe.
So working with your hands is important to you?
Yes, it's very important to me. I really enjoy it. I'm kind of a hands-on learner.
Last year, Governor Gianforte signed a series of career and technical education bills into law with the goal of supporting work-based learning opportunities for students.
So we need people, we need welders, we need machinists, we need plumbers, we need electricians. CTE is all about exposing the students to these various career options while they're still in high school so they can make a better choice for themselves.
And while the canoe building class helps students learn a bit more about carpentry, it's also giving them a lesson about using their hands to build something from nothing.
If you just order it online, then you don't have that special connection between you and your canoe. It's cool. It's sentimental value.
In Boulder, Megan Thompson, MTN News.
How many bowls can one community throw? Our John Amy tells us about volunteer artists in Butte who are working hard to handcraft a record amount of bowls.
Imagine taking this hunk of clay and just with the snap of your fingers and make a beautiful bowl as easy as that. Well, it's not that easy, but the artists here at the Hungry Hill Art Center in Butte are going to make more than 1,400 of these beautiful bowls for the Empty Bowls event in April, the most bowls they've ever made in the 11 years of this great event.
The reason why we're doing so many is we keep on selling out every year, and we feel there's more people that want to come to the event and support the Butte School District. So.
Between now and April, volunteer artists will be throwing many bowls to reach their goal. Artists get a real satisfaction out of making these bowls.
I love creating things, and I love using what I create, are the two main things. And clay is just something that you can make anything out of. Your imagination can run wild, and you can have a solid, useful form afterwards.
The bowls will be glazed and then fired in a kiln before being sold at the Empty Bowls event, which raises funds for the backpack program that provides food for K through 12 students that are food insecure. Children in this program receive enough food to get through the weekends during the school year. Artists say it takes a special touch to make a good bowl.
I would say patience, slow movements, and just practice. Just got to keep going.
The program has even brought in beginners who are eager to make their first good bowl.
This is my 3rd attempt to make a bowl. But it takes practice. I mean, it's definitely an art.
The Empty Bowls will be held the evening of April 3rd at the Butte Civic Center, and tickets are now available at the Butte Emergency Food Bank and the Civic Center. In Butte, John Amy, MTN News.
Former President Donald Trump has another major court event on the calendar this week. On Thursday, justices at the Supreme Court will take up Mr. Trump's appeal to be on the Colorado ballot after the state Supreme Court there kicked him off in December. Now, all of these hearings and arguments are beginning to add up with major impacts on the start of former President Trump's actual criminal trials. So will any of these trials involving the former president actually take place this year? Our Scripps News' Joe St. George explains.
All campaigns have sides, and most have debates, but 2024 was expected to be different because of something that has never happened before, a trial involving one of the leading candidates for president. But there are major questions if those events will still occur. Take, for instance, March 4th, about a month from now. It was supposed to be the start of former President Donald Trump's blockbuster January 6th trial, a defining moment in the 2024 election. But that is not happening on time anymore. A judge last week ordering it unable to go forward. There is no new start date scheduled. One reason, a separate case involving presidential immunity. The former president and his lawyers have been arguing in court that he shouldn't be charged with crimes because they believe presidents are immune from prosecution. That question is currently waiting a ruling by the appeals court in D.C., although it's likely the Supreme Court eventually takes up the case too and then issues their own opinion. But all of this appealing takes time, and Election Day keeps getting closer. Legal analysts have said that it's much easier for a federal judge to start a trial involving the former president in March as opposed to a few weeks before Election Day, assuming former President Trump is the Republican nominee. The Justice Department has historically not wanted to influence elections. Ty Cobb is a former member of Mr. Trump's legal team and joined us recently on Scripps News. Are we going to have any trials actually happen this year?
Any continuing delay does make it less likely that the case would get tried in advance of the election.
One place where a trial does look more likely to start soon is in New York City, where the local Manhattan District Attorney's case involving Mr. Trump is scheduled for late March. Because that case is at the local level and involves campaign spending allegations before former President Trump was in office, the presidential immunity question is not as relevant. One thing is clear, all of these legal cases involving former President Donald Trump is not just taking time, it's also costing money. Recent FEC filings report that various political action committees involving former President Trump spent over $50 million last year on legal fees. Joe St. George, Scripps News, Washington.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Matt is tracking some snow in the forecast. How much? He'll let us know right after the break.
I'm John Matteries. From TVs to appliances to home goods, you'll find some great discounts the month of February. I'll show you what to buy coming up.